from 1979 to 1988. The Facts of Life was a television program that brought comfort to millions of American families. But behind all the laughter were lives filled with loss. Actors were fired without notice. Marriages broke down. Illnesses claimed the lives of decades, and deaths shocked fans. And now, in 2025, the truth about their lives is finally revealed, in a way you will never forget. Charlotte Rae played the role of Edna Garrett, Mrs. G. Charlotte Rae was born on April 22, 1926, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In 1979, at the age of 53, she took on the role of Edna Garrett, the gentle mother figure of the entire school, a character beloved by American audiences in the television series The Facts of Life. But behind that warm exterior lay a heart almost hardened by life's hardships. And as she entered the series, Charlotte carried within her a pain she never dared to express. Charlotte's 25-year marriage crumbled when her husband publicly came out as bisexual in a prejudiced era, plunging her into long nights of heavy drinking to alleviate her shame and loneliness. Both of her sons suffered from serious illnesses. One died young. The other spent his entire life battling mental illness, placing an immense emotional burden on her. That pressure eventually led her to turn down a $5 million contract to stay for 2 more seasons because she no longer had the strength to smile. Illness struck as if life were testing her one last time. A pacemaker, open heart surgery, pancreatic cancer, then bone cancer. However, Charlotte retained the gentle charm that fans always remembered. Sadly, Charlotte Rae passed away on August 5, 2018, in Los Angeles at the age of 92. She died peacefully in her small home, leaving behind a net worth of approximately $5 million in royalties. Lisa Whelchel as Blair Warner. Lisa Whelchel was born on May 29, 1963, in Littlefield, Texas. In 1979, at the age of 16, she became Blair Warner, the wealthy, beautiful, and sharp-witted girl in the film The Truth About Life. On screen, she appears confident and radiant, but in real life, Lisa is a young woman who grew up in a suffocatingly strict religious environment. The conflict between her faith and her true nature has driven her into silent struggles that fans have never witnessed. When the writers wanted Blair to lose her virginity in the film, Lisa refused, even though it nearly cost her the role, because she couldn't allow herself to betray what she believed in. Her marriage to Pastor Stephen Cobble further trapped her within the mold of the perfect Christian wife until that life crumbled after 24 years, leaving Lisa alone, depressed, confused, and with a broken faith. She joined Survivor Philippines as someone trying to rise above her circumstances, both to prove her strength and to break free from her past. She finished second and won the audience's favorite award, but was criticized for being fake because she cried too much. After the show, she started her life anew, writing books, giving public speeches, and teaching others how to heal. In 2025, at age 62, Lisa lives in Lancaster, California with her newlywed husband, psychologist Pete Harris, and works as a life coach and host of Collector's Call. Her net worth of approximately $8 million is the result of a journey filled with moments of decline, rise, and fall again. Cloris Leachman, Chungvai Beverly Ann Stickle. Cloris Leachman was born on April 30, 1926, in Des Moines, Iowa. In 1986, at the age of 60, she joined the cast of Everyday Truths as Beverly Ann Stickle, a quirky, warm woman who appeared in the final 2 seasons and brought a whole new energy to the show. But behind her sharp comedic acting talent lay a life without limits. Her 26-year marriage to George England was an adventure unlike any other. They openly agreed to a non-consensual marriage, publicly admitted to infidelity, and lived with a level of personal freedom most people would never dare imagine. But that freedom also came with suffering. Their son, Brian, died young, leaving Cloris with an irreplaceable void. She threw herself into her work with intense dedication, becoming one of Hollywood's most demanding and uncompromising actresses. As she aged, Cloris continued to amaze Hollywood. At age 80, she posed nude for PETA, starred in a sex comedy at age 84, smoked, drank, and boldly declared, "I'm not afraid of dying, only of running out of alcohol." She lived as if each day were her last, but ultimately, illness claimed her life. A stroke, coupled with lung damage from COVID-19, proved irreversible. Cloris Leachman passed away on January 27, 2021, in Encinitas, California, at the age of 94. She was cremated on February 7th, closing the final chapter of the life of a woman who remained strong until the very end. Her net worth at the time was approximately $12 million. She was an Oscar winner, a record 8-time Emmy winner, and an irreplaceable figure of influence in television history. Felix Schachter Tongvai Nancy Olsen. Felice Schachter was born on November 17, 1963, in Queens, New York. In 1979, at the age of 16, she became Nancy Olsen, the first American girl selected to participate in the program The Truth About Life, and also the first member to be eliminated when NBC abruptly restructured the show. A 16-year-old girl who seemed to have reached her dream was removed just months later without any explanation. The sudden dismissal devastated Felice, leaving her with a deep sense of betrayal. Hollywood had stolen her youth and abandoned her in a void as fame vanished overnight. She gave up acting and turned to academia as a way to escape the feeling that she wasn't good enough. She attended Brown University, graduating with a degree in semiotics, and later worked as a sports commentator. In the 1990 Felice returned to Hollywood, but behind the camera rather than in front of it, producing, coordinating, and supporting projects she had once dreamed of starring in. When life led her behind the scenes, Felice chose something even more meaningful, becoming a special education teacher, a job she always calls the most beautiful role of her life. In 2025, 62-year-old Felice Schachter lives a peaceful life in New York, teaching and staying away from the hustle and bustle of Hollywood. She never returned to acting, but found the peace that fame could never bring. Her current net worth is estimated at around $1 million. Nancy McKeon as Joe Polniacek. Nancy Justine McKeon was born on April 4, 1966, in Westbury, New York. In 1980, at the age of 14, she starred in the film The Facts of Life as Joe Polniacek, a rebellious, sharp-witted tomboy who fought for justice and instantly became an icon for a generation of girls who just wanted to be themselves. But off-screen, Nancy is a teenage girl burdened by the pressure to be perfect down to the smallest detail. Her youth is a constant balance between fame and fear. Her 3-year relationship with Michael J. Fox seemed like a fairy tale, but ended painfully when he asked her to give up acting for him, something Nancy couldn't do without betraying her own dreams. She chose her career, but the price was heartbreak that haunted her for years. When her brother, Philip McKeon, the child star of Alice, died in 2019 after a long illness, Nancy was almost completely devastated. After years in front of the camera, Nancy did something that Hollywood rarely forgives. She turned down big roles to become a full-time mother, retreating to a farm in Texas instead of pursuing fame. She writes, produces, and directs small projects and only occasionally appears on television. But she always keeps her distance from the entertainment industry. In 2025, 59-year-old Nancy McKeon lives a peaceful life on her Texas estate with her husband and children, rarely giving interviews and almost completely avoiding the spotlight. Her estimated net worth is around $7 million, not particularly impressive by Hollywood standards, but enough for Nancy to live a life under her own control without sacrificing her health, love, or peace of mind. Julie Pekarsky as Sue Ann Weaver. Julie Ann Pekarsky was born on January 2, 1963, in St. Louis, Missouri. In 1979, at the age of 16, she appeared in the film The Facts of Life as Sue Ann Weaver, a sweet, gentle girl with a perfect smile, the kind of smile that makes viewers believe her life is just as perfect. But when NBC fired almost the entire cast of the first season, Julie was one of those ruthlessly eliminated. That shock plunged her into years of unemployment, countless failed auditions, and long periods of wondering why the whole group had been cut. Yet somehow, she was the one who felt the pain the most. She fell into depression, turned down many roles due to the demanding requirements of Hollywood at the time, and eventually gave up acting to become a local television reporter. Her marriage to John Probst lasted over 30 years, but eventually broke down. After the divorce, her 3 grown children became her strongest support. As her acting career faded, Julie returned to Missouri, living a quiet life, volunteering at her church, and only occasionally appearing at reunions of the cast. In 2025, Julie Pekarsky, 62 years old, lives a peaceful life in St. Louis, occasionally acting in films when suitable roles come her way, but primarily dedicating her time to family and charitable work. Her current net worth is estimated at approximately $1 million. Pamela Adlon Trung or Kelly Afanado. Pamela Adlon was born on July 9, 1966, in New York City. In 1983, at the age of 17, she entered the entertainment industry playing Kelly Affinado, a rebellious, somewhat reckless girl with an undeniable charisma, embodying the indomitable spirit of youth. Although her role was brief, Kelly left a lasting impression among the established cast, much like Pamela herself later achieved in Hollywood. Few know that this strong, passionate young woman grew up in a difficult family, with her parents divorcing early and her life constantly moving between New York and Los Angeles. The more famous Pamela became, the more insecure she felt. In her 20s, she could barely find acting roles, surviving only on small voiceover jobs, which she later admitted saved her life during her lowest point in her career. Her marriage broke down in 2010, leaving her alone with 3 young daughters, juggling acting, screenwriting, producing, and directing, as if she could never give up. She navigated those turbulent decades with rare resilience, fighting to escape the shadow of Louis C.K., weathering scandal and writing, starring in, and directing better things to ultimately tell her own story. In 2025, 59-year-old Pamela Adlon, alternating between Los Angeles and New York, continues to act, voice, and direct as if her life has never ceased to be full of challenges. But she kept moving forward. Her current net worth is approximately $16 million. Mackenzie Astin, who played Andy Moffat, has a net worth of approximately $11 million. Mackenzie Astin was born on May 12, 1973, in Los Angeles, California. In 1985, at the age of 12, she joined the cast of The Facts of Life as Andy Moffat, a quick-witted, kind-hearted boy who appeared just as the show transitioned to a more mature phase. But behind that bright, innocent smile lies a childhood scarred by the instability of growing up in a troubled artistic family. His mother, the legendary actress Patty Duke, suffered from severe bipolar disorder, and from a young age, Mackenzie lived in constant emotional turmoil, forced to mature faster than other children. By his early 20s, those cracks finally broke. He became addicted to alcohol, lost control of himself, and in 1994, nearly died in an accident. That was the final shock that awakened him, prompting him to enter rehab, heal his wounds, and slowly rebuild his life from the ruins. However, fate continued to challenge him, and showed no signs of stopping. His mother passed away in 2016, and Mackenzie nearly collapsed a second time. But instead of sinking into despair, he poured all his energy into his work, appearing in films such as The Magicians, Scandal, Homeland, and You. With each role, he seems to be trying to prove to himself that he is still strong enough to stand firm. In 2025, 52-year-old Mackenzie Astin lives a peaceful life with his wife, Jennifer Bouts, regularly participating in television projects. As a man who has chosen a slower pace of life to ensure he never falls into decline, his current net worth is approximately $5 million. Kim Fields as Dorothy Tootie Ramsey. Kim Fields was born on May 12, 1969, in New York City. In 1979, at the age of 9, though she lied about being 10 to avoid being cut from the role, she starred in the TV series The Truth About Life as Dorothy Tootie Ramsey, a lively, bright-eyed girl who appeared in 200 episodes over 9 seasons. But behind that adorable facade lay a childhood stolen by her own mother. From a very young age, Kim had to work 14 to 16 hours a day under the strict control of her mother, Chip Fields, who was not only her manager but also the one who decided every aspect of her life. While fans saw a cheerful Tootie, Kim grew up under immense pressure. She was subjected to body shaming for her short stature, denied many roles because of her small build, and forced to mature prematurely. The pressure became so overwhelming that in 1999, she was arrested while protesting police brutality. Her personal life was also fraught with suffering. Her first marriage ended after 10 years, and when she married Christopher Morgan, tabloids smeared him with rumors that he was gay, forcing Kim once again to shoulder the burden of protecting her family from the vicious media. She fought to keep a smile on her face, turning to producing and directing not only to escape the spotlight, but also to regain control of her life. By 2025, Kim Fields, 56, will be living a more peaceful life with her husband and 2 sons. She has directed over 70 episodes of sitcoms, starred in The Upshaws on Netflix, and chosen a life where no one controls her except herself. Her net worth is estimated at around $9 million, a modest figure by Hollywood standards, but proof that Kim has completely rebuilt her life to her own liking. Molly Ringwald Trungvai Molly Parker. Molly Ringwald was born on February 18, 1968, in Roseville, California. In In 1979, at the age of 11, she joined the television series The Facts of Life as Molly Parker, an energetic, feminist, sharp-witted girl who constantly questioned injustices. But after only one season, Molly was removed from the cast when the lineup was completely changed. And at the age of 11, she learned her first bitter lesson in Hollywood. Childhood traumas plunged Molly into a turbulent adolescence, marked by premature fame, becoming a star of a brat pack, and facing intense media scrutiny that led her to alcoholism before reaching adulthood. Short-lived romances with famous musicians and actors only left her feeling more empty under the spotlight. After the resounding success of 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, and Pretty in Pink, Molly began to crumble under the pressure of maintaining her teen queen image, a title she felt more like a trap than an honor. When her Hollywood career stalled, Molly moved to France, choosing smaller roles and distancing herself from the demanding nature of the film industry. Her marriage ended in divorce and then reunited with her current husband, and having 3 children helped Molly find balance again. She admits that the darkest period of her life was when she believed she had nothing left but her past. But her recent roles in Riverdale and Monster proved she still has much to offer. In 2025, Molly Ringwald, 57, living between France and New York, continues to act, write books, and translate literature. In this quieter phase of her life, she still possesses the spirit of the woman who reshaped American teen culture. Present.